We produced this report with the help of the E-Alliance and with funding from Sport Canada to share evidence-based information that shows the significant impact that sport can have on people and communities beyond the obvious health and wellness benefits. So as a network leader for values-based sport, the CCS undertook this research as an initiative to provide concrete evidence of the types of benefits can be realized through a values-based approach to sport. So this 2022 report is called The Power of Sport, the True Sport Report, and it's actually a follow-up to the 2008 report, which was entitled What Sport Can Do. So the original report focused on child and youth development, crime prevention, education, social inclusion, and economic and environmental sustainability. And the 2022 report covers all of those pieces, and it also has information on the impacts of sport on children with disabilities, LGBTQ plus inclusion, and experiences of racialized and Indigenous peoples, and the impact of climate change on sport. So all of that, in a nutshell, is why we produced this report, is really just to provide evidence-based information, to demonstrate how sport can impact community. Gosh, I think there's something in the report for everyone. It is really broad, it is really vast. The information in the report is relevant to a wide variety of sectors. So all levels of government, people who work in education, people who work in community, sport organizations, and business leaders. It's really designed for people who want to use sport to do social good. I also think it's really important for people who are outside of sport. So people who maybe just want to use sport as a tool for social development, or use sport to achieve some level of social good. So sport may not be, their core offering, but it's absolutely something they can use to deliver whatever it is they want to do. So back in 2008, like I said, there was a list of topics in that report, and it was really about, societal goals. And so the research points to community sports' fundamental role as this kind of primary generator of social capital and the related benefits across this broad spectrum of societal goals. And then when we redid the report for 2022, we needed to add in those additional pieces around racialized and Indigenous peoples, LGBTQ plus inclusion, children with disabilities, and the impact of climate change, just to make the report more contemporary for where we find ourselves in 2022 versus 2008. I think I've worked in this area for a really long time, so there might not be too many surprises for me, but I think there's some interesting that other Canadians will absolutely find interesting, some findings that are relevant to their area of work, regardless of what sector they work in. So, one of the pieces that I think we all intuitively know, that the adults who are involved in the sport experience have a significant impact on the children and youth who participate. So the coaches, the parents, the officials, the administrators, all of that is really, really important. Canadians believe that sport can instill character in kids, but I think that the report identifies that the type of sport that they offer is really key to achieving those benefits. So we need to be intentional to bring sport and the values in sport to the forefront, so that kids actually derive all of the benefits that we think sport can derive. Another piece, Peter, I would say, is the report also surfaced that we are actually missing some research and that we should prioritize some research moving forward. So the notion of we need to advance our understanding of the experiences of Canadians with intersectional identities, so that we can address the barriers to inclusion in community sport. Because regardless of all the facts and information available in the report, if all Canadians don't have an opportunity to participate, then they absolutely will never be able to realize the benefits that we know sport can offer. I think it's troubling to see that there's still so many Canadians that are excluded from community sport. So like I said, if you're not participating, you'll never be able to derive the benefits of it. So, and then a secondary piece to that is for people who are participating, we don't have a lot of guarantees right now that the sport experience that they're experiencing is values-based. So if we look to have a values-based sport experience, then we're going to impact the retention rate. So an example of that in the report, it states that 1 in 3 girls drop out of sport in adolescence as compared to 1 in 10 boys. So there's obviously a need there for us to look after the well-being of young girls and the enjoyment that they have in sport so that they can stay in it longer and continue to realize all the benefits of participation. I would say this is kind of a flip side, a negative couched in a positive, and that would be the COVID-19 pandemic. I think that really awoke Canadians to the importance of sport as a fundamental part of our social fabric and the impact it can have on the health and well-being, physical, mental, all of it for Canadians. So it also exposed, I think, when community sport was missing, it also exposed the underlying social inequities in our communities around, how it impacted low-income individuals, unemployed individuals, as well as women, as an example. So the positive part is there's a growing awareness of our need to kind of build back better, I guess, post-pandemic. And so how can we use that intersectional lens when we're planning and investing in sport? And, further to that, there's been a lot of bad news stories, I would say, related to sport. And so that, on the positive side, has created a growing awareness of the need for a values-based approach to sport so we can keep athletes safe. We can promote general well-being. We can ensure, maltreatment and issues such as that have no place in our sports system. So I think we can feel really good about the fact that a lot of programs are making changes. People are looking to have a sport culture that is fair, that is safe, it's inclusive, and it's accessible to everyone. So I think that, coming out of a not so good situation is a real great opportunity for Canadians to embrace sport in our communities and to make sure that it really does deliver on everything we think it can. I really hope that people will, use this sport. So for sport beyond sport, that decision makers, policymakers, business leaders, that they're going to recognize the tremendous potential of community sport, and that they're going to look to be inspired to use it to do their work in a different way, and also that it will provide the evidence that people need to influence decision makers and policymakers, whether they're implementing programs or whether they're making funding decisions, that they'll actually have the information they need to make good decisions and to support the decisions that they're making. And I mean, secondary to that kind of research evidence piece, I think it's if the report can help to grow the understanding of our need for values-based sport and the importance that it plays, I think that would be a real great takeaway.